You pull on your yellow marigolds and gather your caddy full of sprays. The client is out. They said it would be a big job, but grease and limescale are your bread and butter. Approaching the sink, something draws your attention. A gurgling from the plug hole. As you peer down, a damp sinew of something. Just a blockage, no problem. But as you pull the strand, the gurgling gets deeper, more aggressive. The pipe bursts, soaking you. You fall backwards, startled, as the sink and the entire kitchen unit erupt from the wall in a deluge of cloudy grey fluid. It sloughs onto the floor, writhing hatefully on the lino. You recognize it immediately. A filth elemental. You ready your can of industrial strength degreaser and leap back to your feet. Will you clean up this dirty mess? Or are you on a mystery quest? And welcome everybody to Mystery Quest, where today we are playing Call of Cthulhu and a scenario called The Edge of Darkness.
I'm scared already.
That's a scary title. You're not supposed to know the title as your character.
You can... Okay, whoever can get that in. Drop the title.
All right, I'm writing it down then.
Yeah, it's going to be my new movie.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, we truly are at the edge of darkness. No, well, save it for the climax. You have recently each been contacted by Rupert Merriweather. An aging man you've known for some time, Merriweather is unwell and seems not long for this world. He's asked you to meet him at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital in Arkham at 1 o'clock on Thursday. You haven't seen the man in quite some time, so this urgent summons seems to be quite important. Perhaps he has something to tell you before he dies. So we are in a waiting area of St. Mary's Hospital. This training hospital is absolute state-of-the-art and is connected to the very famous Miskatonic University. From a lot of Lovecraft mythos. So, in this waiting area is just this kind of smell of disinfectant, these bright lights reflecting off of all of these like highly polished white surfaces, the gentle clicks of nurses' heels as they walk to and fro, and the occasional cry of someone in pain or people bustling around. And outside of this hospital room is our first character. Who are you, and who are you playing?
Hello there. Good. Thank you. Hello. Welcome. Call me the Major. You see a character sitting on the hospital seat behind, actually, a large broadsheet newspaper. The Arkham Spectator. Poking out above the newspaper is a pith hat. One of those old styles. A small pair of round spectacles and a bushy grey moustache. A ruddy face, old, red, seen a lot of combat, obviously, scarred, and beneath that is a trim but slightly tatty old military uniform. Looks like it's covered in ceremony pomp medals. Leaning up against the chair next to him is an umbrella and also an old-looking cavalry saber, which he clearly has unstrapped in order to sit down. Waiting for his friend waiting for the nurses to let him in to see his old friend.
Perfect. So as you are sat there, coming down the corridor towards you are two more characters, arm in arm, an older couple, who is this duo. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Well, of course, it's Fanny Miggins back again. Yes, and I'm with my wonderful partner, Mr. Miggins.
Big Willie Miggins.
Okay, great.
We're getting it out our system, Tom, all right?
Yeah. Fanny and Willie.
Mrs. Miggins is an accomplished author of short horror novellos. She's quite a stout 60-year-old woman, so quite old. She's a bit frail. She's wearing a big pink, soft, fluffy sweater with a kind of old haggardy coat over her. She's a bit, she's seen better days. But yes, it's very nice to be here, Willie. Oh, come on, Miss Ross, get along. We're a little bit late. Come on.
Oh, darling. I'm playing Willie Miggins, Mr. Miggins. He's kind of a stocky, like 60-year-old man. He's like a local, lovely town mechanic. And, you know, he's married to Mrs. Miggins. He loves her very much. He's well liked around the town. Usually see him wearing like a little like overall with like, you know, like a maybe oily t-shirt or whatever. But like today he's just at the hospital to see his friend. He's wearing a nice little cardigan. Kind of looks like a slightly more stocky Mr. Rogers.
That's exactly what I was imagining.
Slightly stocky
love
Mr.
that.
Rogers. He's walking along with Miss Miggins like, hey, honey, it's going to be a good day, I'm telling you.
Yes, oh, yes, oh.
As you see your dying friend in hospital.
Forever optimistic, Tom. Forever optimistic.
Any day's good
The
with you.
Miggins are good people.
Any day's good with you, Fanny.
Oh, I love you, Willie.
I love you too.
I want to grow old together. We're already old.
So you kind of sit down in this waiting area, and there is this military dressed gentleman. Have you met before? You are both friends of Rupert Merriweather, so you may have bumped into each
I
other.
feel like we've met. Oh, Major, lovely to see you again. It's been such a while.
Mrs. Miggins, madam, it's good to see you. Oh, how are you? Hale and hearty, I hope.
Very good. I bend down and I kiss his hand. I'm very courteous towards the Major. Oh, Major, we're doing well. It's so sad to be here for old Rupert.
How are your children?
Though many and far, spreading, surging throughout.
And Willie, good to see you too.
Good to see you, Major. Once again, thank you for your service. And I'm going to do a little salute.
Well, you know, it's all the best I could do. It's terrible about poor Rupert, isn't it? Terrible.
Such a shame, such a shame. But you're looking well,
Oh, yes, I'm off on another expedition, you know. Always busy, me.
Always traveling, getting around, you know.
Yes,
Such an exciting life, Major. Such an exciting life.
Well, you know.
So it's kind of a little bit past 1 o'clock, and
What month is it?
it is.
What month is it? It's bloody October!
Yeah, you look up on the there's a calendar on the wall, and yeah, it's September time.
Oh,
Warm. It's easy to be warm this time of year, isn't it?
Okay.
Very warm, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I think
sweating
it's
a bit, I like to
pretty fairly clement weather for sort of New England at this time. I don't know if that's good time for New England weather. Could be terrible, but we live in a magic world with monsters and stuff, so it's good weather. It's unseasonably warm. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm wearing a sweater and a coat.
There was a wind earlier. I don't know. And running late is a character who is kind of briskly walking down the corridor towards you. Who is this figure?
Apologies, everybody. Apologies. I was getting some B-roll of the hospital. Don't want to pass up production value and it hit you in the face. I'm Archie. Hello, everybody. Film director extraordinaire. Silent movie director. Directed some epics in my time, and I'm now, maybe not where I once was. I'm finding my way back up the ladder of Hollywood, as it were. I wear a beret, cravat, nice open shirt, riding boots. And I carry with me my trusty camera and tripod just to capture the odd shot whenever I need it. I'll build something, I'll make something out of it. Always looking for the next project, me. The old fella's not dead yet, is he?
No, I think we're waiting for that.
No?
Have you had any news,
So
Major?
as you say that, the door to this room opens and a sort of pristinely dressed nurse steps out with a clipboard and says, Mr. Merriweather he'll see you now. Please try not to excite him too much. He's not well.
Once he gets a look at my Fanny, I'll tell you, he'll be real excited.
Good Lord. Don't really stop it.
The nurse sighs and puts a cigarette in her mouth and lights it and walks off. And
Nice.
You step into this room and it is swelteringly hot in here, like really, really warm. And there is this figure of this guy that you all know, Rupert Merriweather, and he is like a shell of a man from what you recognize. He looks ill. His skin is grey and waxy. He is just absolutely covered in blankets and coverings and just looks so sweaty, but he's like shivering while he's there. An older woman that you might recognize as his wife is stood beside the bed, kind of gently weeping, and his son, Bertrand, is stood there, and he, this skinny weasel-faced guy, looks at you all with a sneer.
Hello, Bertrand, old boy. Oh, Rupert. Oh, looking like you're recovering there, fellow. Well, you'll be back on your feet in no time.
Oh, my friends. It's it's so good for you to come here to see me.
You doing okay, champ?
Oh, I fear the outlook's not so good.
You're looking pretty good to me.
Oh, thank you.
Never look better.
Thank you, Willie. Always the charmer.
Don't you be silly, Rupert. We'll be playing chess again soon. Don't you worry.
I hope so. To test our minds against each other.
Yes, like we used to when we were boys.
Please, Agnes and Bertrand, could you give us the room, please?
And his wife, kind of weeping,
It's okay, Agnes.
I'm
It's
sorry,
okay.
sorry, Magnus.
she kind of introduces, embraces you, and steps outside.
There.
And Bertrand absolutely gives you the stink eye as he's walking out, and you hear him hissing under his breath, just, I know what you guys are up to. You're here to steal his money, you vultures. Get out of here. And he steps out the door, taking care of his mother.
Please, my friends, time is of the absolute essence here. I'm sorry to have brought you under such queer circumstances. I wish it could have been better times. How time passes. Oh,
It's okay, Rupert. We're here. We're listening. I get one of those, there's a little handkerchief that's all wet, and I dab it on his forehead.
Oh,
Very nice.
That's lovely. So yeah, this room is a fairly nice, spacious room with this central bed, and there's a few chairs, a small kind of like doctor/nurse's station off into one corner, and yeah, some like lovely plants and stuff. But it is hot and humid and just smells of a combination of just sweat and disinfectant in here. Just you feel clammy just even being nearby. You can see there's a small waste disposal bin with a load of sort of tissues, and you can see flecks of blood on those. He's got like some tissues right next to him on the bed, and he ain't doing so good.
please, give me a moment. I have a tale to tell you, and you're the only people I could trust with this. In my youth, I and some fellow students became involved in what we believed to be an innocent exploration of the occult. We were led by a slightly older man named Marion Allen. The six of us purchased an old farmhouse miles west of Arkham, near the village of Ross's Corner. There we conducted seances and other physical research in privacy. Alas, our work had unforeseen results. Our last experiment summoned some force of evil into this world. Instead of attempting to expel this thing, we were afraid and abandoned the old house, confident that the magic that brought this evil into the world would also keep it confined in that vacant house, or send it back after some short time. However, I've discovered that the spell that binds this entity to the house only lasts as long as the casters are alive. I am the last of the group, and I fear that upon my death the thing will go free and wreak havoc on the folks thereabout. I am too old, too ill, and too much of a coward to go back to that forsaken house and try to banish the thing myself. I am guilty of many things, but my deepest sin was unleashing that horror that fateful night. I'm convinced the entity will escape its confinement on my death. Please, My bag.
He gestures down.
I'll wheel over and grab whatever he's pointing at.
Cool. It's like a large leather satchel type thing.
Please.
Here you go, boy.
He kind of struggles to undo the straps on it and opens it up.
Please. Take this box.
He hands it
Sure.
up.
All the aid I can offer lies within. You must find the courage to send that thing back from where it came. You must see this done. Do it for me.
And he coughs up a just huge amount of blood. I think Major, while you're mopping his brow, like you get flecks of it onto your uniform, and he breaks into a horrific coughing fit, and his eyes begin to roll
We
into
need
the
a
back of his head.
doctor. I go to the door. Hey, we need a doctor, nurse, somebody.
It takes a few seconds, but a nurse runs along, and it looks shocked, and she screams for a doctor, presses a button on the wall, and a red light kind of comes on outside the front of this room. She's like, please, can you, we need some space here right now. If you can wait outside.
Yes, of course.
Doctors. And they hurry in as he is convulsing on the bed and just coughing up huge amounts of blood all over himself.
You get some rest, Rupert. We got this.
He's just fucking dying. Forever the optimist.
And yeah, you are hurried out of that the room into the corridor.
That's quite shocking.
It's quite shocking.
It is quite shocking. I think where we'll reconvene this is in there's a cafe right next door to St. Mary's. Sort of it's where a lot of students will be hanging out. They serve coffee, they serve like soda and juice and that kind of thing. And we'll just take you guys and you can be sat by there. You have this briefcase. And boom, continue.
Well, gosh, it was quite a shocking turn. I thought things were going to be bad, but not this bad. The old fella's left us a whole trick.
Yes. And he waited. So let me get this straight. There was all these casters, and they waited until the last one was about to die to tell us.
Yes.
And he's literally going to die.
Well, it seems like he's in the process of, yes. Yeah.
Clock's ticking.
Well, Archie, this kind of sounds like one of your pictures. Like
It
this.
does. I had to resist it to the urge to film that situation right there, you know.
If you had filmed him while he was dying, I would have slapped you, Archie.
Yes, I understand.
It's unacceptable.
Yes.
Well,
Well-
what's in this briefcase? I'm so...
Poor old Rupert, the old fool, obviously. What has he got himself into?
And us into.
We knew he was a silly old fool, but I didn't think he was this stupid, messing around with those kind of things, you know. I've been around long enough to know that you shouldn't fiddle around with that. My first instinct was this is a load of poppycock. But gosh, looking at him in there, coughing away, brought back all kinds of nasty memories.
Yes, well, I imagine. I'm sorry. You're all right, Major. You're okay.
Well,
Hey, you still have someone on you, and I'm going to dab away.
Actually,
my
I
goodness.
think that's a good point. Can you all give me a sanity roll?
Sure.
So Call of Cthulhu is a percentile system where people will be rolling a D100 where they're trying to roll under a given number. And right now, you're rolling underneath your sanity.
Uh-oh.
Get the bad rolls out first, right? 91.
92.
97.
Oh my god.
9.
Absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine.
I've seen it all. I've seen people fucking explode on set.
So I think the kind of the violence of sort of the seizure he was having, you can lose 1 sanity point. The Major, I'll let you can optionally choose to lose this sanity point because I feel like you are more familiar with blood than
I still think I'm shaken by this.
I think seeing your friend in such a state. Yeah,
So
like
I'm going to lose one.
and so it just means you've each lost a little bit of your composure from like it was like quite an upsetting.
Am I okay though?
Yeah, you literally.
I've got like a cake and I'm just like.
What's the term when like you film for a camera so you don't think you're there? You just
yeah. That's exactly it.
wow.
Yeah.
Just splatting strawberry jam onto a scone, and it's just flecking
I
everywhere.
don't notice that you are all shaken or
It's
anything.
like the idea that you're watching everything through a camera
Exactly,
lens,
it's
right?
distancing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good.
So you open up this briefcase, and inside is this kind of wooden box, and within that are a few different items, and there is a deed to a house. This is a deed to a farmhouse owned by Rupert Merriweather, and this heavy kind of iron key does not look too exceptional. There is a journal, which looks like a handwritten journal inscribed as Rupert Merriweather, and a letter. I will let you guys you can choose who has whichever. And at the bottom of this box is this kind of, you can't quite tell what material it is, but it is this carved, what almost looks like an Egyptian sarcophagus, sort of maybe 8 to 10 inches long, and just that is within this thing as well. Who would like things?
Oh, pass me
Yeah.
that journal. I feel like I can give it a good peruse.
It's great. I get such Agatha Christie vibes off
Yeah.
of your character, like Miss Marple.
Yeah.
Like just
Oh, bloody hell, it's fucking pages long.
I just like the interfering woman who like gathers us
Yeah,
up and
yeah,
takes us
yeah.
to the tea shop. You know,
Come on, boys.
This is quite like a thick journal, and it will take you many hours to actually read through the whole thing. But if you want to, you can flick to the...
The one bit you recommend that we read now. I don't want to just suddenly dictate 3 A4 sides to you.
No, I think we'll kind of like get to that, but
Okay, sure.
flicking through, you can see it is all handwritten by Rupert Merriweather.
Yes, it seems to be some kind of his journal. I assume the experience he had at the farmhouse or something to the like. Looks very interesting. I'll have a peruse. What else was in the box? What else have you
he's
got?
also written as this letter here that I could read it out if we feel that we're ready for it.
Yes.
I could do with a stiff drink before we carry on, actually.
Oh, really?
Do they put any kind of whiskey in these teas or anything?
So it is the
I like the
height
idea that I'm
of...
clutching a little teacup.
Like an espresso shot.
Yeah.
It's like there's like a doily on the table.
Oh yeah. This is like a nice cafe. You're sat at the front under some umbrellas. You're drinking teas, coffees, just whatever. You know, maybe a cake.
I just take out a hip flask and pour it into your tea.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Archibald, sir.
Anytime.
Much appreciated.
So it is the height of prohibition at the moment.
Broad daylight. In a sunny September as well. A sunny September.
In a tea
I
house.
just needed a little snifter to get me going. That's
No,
all.
it's
All
fine.
right, Willie.
If you're ready, Major.
I'm braced for it.
Dear friends, in the years after the nightmarish events of that night in my youth, I've seen many strange things. Only now do I begin to grasp the truth of reality. I've tried in my small way to combat the horrors and make amends for my part in bringing one to our plane of existence. What I have left to offer, what riches and wealth I have, I will put to good use in dealing with these abominations. It is the very least this old coward can do. I could never make myself go back to that little farmhouse and put these events to rights. I too gravely feared that which my friends and I loosed upon this countryside. Nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death, I fear the bonds will be broken and the horror free to come and go as it pleases. Lives not yet taken already weigh heavy on my conscience. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Marion from the book, The Vermis Mysterious, that sounds like something a bit more up your alley, honey. I was never strong enough to take on the task, but I hope that you are. In ridding the world of this, perhaps you will save my soul from hell, for I fear that my deeds have not been enough to release me from this heavy burden. I do not expect your forgiveness for what I ask you. Rupert Merriweather.
Does anyone know Latin?
Ooh, a little bit.
No.
The smallest amount of Latin.
Do you want to give me a Latin roll?
Yeah, sure. I've got 40, so
Okay.
I rolled 77.
Cool. You're
Bit
not
rusty on the old Latin.
not entirely familiar with what that means, but you do believe that it is Latin sounding.
Well, it's got a fuckload of eyes in it, so I think it's probably Latin.
That's what they say.
That was always your forte.
There's a fuckload of eyes.
What are you looking at? Sorry.
De Vernimus Mysterii, is that
Oh,
it? Is that what you're
this
looking at?
this sort of book that they were using to do some fooling around with the occult. I don't really abide by this kind of thing at all, Archie.
No, not at all. Is that book in the briefcase, the Vermis?
No.
It's a reference to this book that what they seem to have used when they were messing around. Flipping children.
Flipping
I
children.
can't believe he didn't solve this problem. He had a whole lifetime to do it.
Waited
And now he's left it to us, the
55 years.
cheeky bastard.
Silly old fool, Rupert. Well, looks like we're going to clean up this mess ourselves. I say we get down there, get a posse, go down there and just, burn the place down or something.
Simple.
And what is that weird sarcophagus-looking thing?
Yeah,
Major?
I
Have
grab
you
it.
Seen that in your travels, or maybe that's some kind of movie prop or
I was
something?
going to say, it looks a bit like a little prop I use. Can I grab it and take a little look?
Yeah. So it is a. You can't quite tell the material it's made out of, but it is a what looks a bit like an Egyptian sarcophagus. You might have seen a prop version when
Sure
you
have,
were
yeah.
making. What movie were you making where you had to make one of these?
The Shadow of the Pharaoh.
Nice. Was it good?
It was bad.
Okay.
Well, I liked it, but it didn't make much money.
Okay. Another big movie flop.
A little flop, just a little flop. Can I take the lid off?
Before anyone touches it, can I say, don't touch that?
Yes. I just have it.
Don't touch that.
He's licking it.
Be very careful. There could be a curse or something, this object. Don't touch it with your bare hands.
In the journal, Archie, the first passage is about the sarcophagus.
Oh,
So yeah, if you want to,
Shall I read the first
if
bit?
you want to read just like the first passage.
Yeah, sure. This is February 27th in 1877. Well, it's quite a long time ago now. Marion Allen has acquired an artifact, purportedly from an Egyptian. It appears to be a small sarcophagus of gold. Inside is a large piece of amber, which entraps a specimen of some unknown species of arthropod. Allen is very excited as the box corresponds to a description he found in an ordinary reference volume in the University Orne Library. Allen says in another book, De Vermis Mysterii, is an explanation of the powers of the box. The text says the small animal trapped in the amber is actually the host to a bound djinn.
Goodness me, what is
A
this?
guide
nonsense?
to the spirit world. Yes. Allen says the tome mentions that originally there were 4 such pieces of amber contained in the box. There is no such mention of what happened to the other 3. We agreed, and a date is set to conduct a ceremony intended to summon the djinn, which Allen assures us will be friendly. We've chosen the night of Saturday, the 18th of March, the night before the new moon. Have you opened could you
I've
open it?
opened it, yes.
What's inside?
Did you open it?
Yes.
There's nothing inside.
Oh, fellas, where's the amber? The amber's gone.
So
The thing.
this is what they summon. This is the thing. The
That's what's
creature.
trapped in the thing.
Well, yes, I think so.
I'll look
right?
in the bottom of the
It
box
seems to be
with the
they
lid.
must have.
So they're saying there was this golden Egyptian sarcophagus.
This thing.
They used this book to sort of summon some sort of djinn out of it.
Yes.
It had an amber inside with a frozen, like in that one of your movies about the
Yes.
insects.
Yes.
When they remade the dinosaurs.
Yes, dinosaur green.
That's what it was called.
Yes.
I really like that one.
Yeah, stop motion dinosaur things. It was very fun, very silly, you know.
You made so many
Yeah, on the
movies.
island. Yes, all of them. Yeah.
You made all
It's
this-
the silent movies. We make like 25 a year.
And so there was some sort of spider preserved within that amber.
Is that what an
Well, it-
amphropod
at least
is?
Arthropod is,
at
yeah,
some
some kind of spidery insect, right?
She's so smart, isn't she?
There's some kind
Very
of books
smart.
that I think are the ordinary reference volume at the university's Orne Library. And what is this Vermi mystery book?
It's the same book we were talking about, the Latin
Yes,
one.
I think we need to find these books. These might give us some
Yes,
clues or
yes.
some hints.
This is very, very strange. So there were 4 amber pieces at some point, and now there's none.
None. I really take a look in the bottom of the box. Maybe I'll put my finger in and rub around, and I'm just trying to. Is there any, shake it out?
Any like mummy dust.
Yeah, any dust, any little bumps or grooves or
Any tomb
Give me a-
secret hatches or something.
Yeah, give me a red hot luck roll.
94.
Ooh, that's good. That's a fail. And
okay.
so, like, as you rob it, like, you just kind of like catch this like faint whiff of like a smell. You can't quite place it, like a cross between kind of chemicals and rotting meat. Like, as you are like fingering this box,
that's what I'm doing.
It's almost like you get like the whine of like tinnitus in your ear.
Do I drop? Is it like loud? Am I like, ugh?
It's just like this kind of like slight piercing whine, and then it just stops. But there's
You're right, Archie.
but this box is covered in engravings that if you're welcome to give me a history roll or a
Anyone got any history?
I've made historical pictures.
You might recognize what are these engravings, Major? You got any clue?
No good at history.
Just give it a go. See, I saw it on campaign. 16.
Oh, you were in the North Africa campaign.
you have.
In 1800.
Wrong war.
Unfortunately, my history knowledge is very poor, and I mean, after all of 5.
Wow.
However, no, I'm not going to push it.
No, so you would guess it looks like hieroglyphics to you. You might have seen these. You may have been in Egypt at some point.
Oh yes, I was.
Oh yeah, you were born in
grew up in
Cairo,
Egypt.
right?
And I served in the King's Own in Egypt.
Okay, so yeah.
Sudan.
So you might be familiar, or at least you will have seen hieroglyphics. To you, these look like hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
This looks like hieroglyphics, I would say.
No,
But there's no way to translate them.
Did anyone else have that funny smell? Was it just me?
Smell?
There was a funny smell and a
didn't
ringing in my
hear
head.
or
No one
No
else
one?
smelled or heard.
Are you doing all
anything.
right, Archie?
Feeling a little bit woozy, chaps. Maybe.
I did tell you not to touch it. You probably got that bloody curse,
Yeah,
Archie.
you're right. I throw it back in the briefcase.
You fool. Everyone's messing around with this
Curses
stuff.
all
They
on your
don't know
hands,
anything
Archie.
about
Wash your
it.
hands. Wash your curse hands.
One of the wives of the governor, when I was in Egypt, they went down one night into the pyramids and got a terrible backache afterwards, terrible curse they had. They died 6 years later. I was going to say.
Hit by a bus. The curse got them.
That's what I say. Don't mess around with these things, Archie. Be very careful.
Sorry, I wiped my hands on Willie. Sorry.
No, get the curse off my husband.
Pull out a little pocket handkerchief. There you go.
Thank you, Willie. What a gentleman.
So from where you are sat, you can see kind of the front of the hospital, and you see Rupert Merriweather's wife and son step out the front, and his wife is in floods of tears.
Oh, no.
And her son is kind of comforting her. She looks very, very upset. Like, this is kind of like across like a lovely kind of manicured park, green area. And they aren't looking super.
Oh dear, poor Agnes, poor Agnes.
Should I hail them over? Maybe see if they're okay? Maybe they
No,
want to join?
they need some time to process this.
Well, we should know if the worst has happened because our ticking clock suddenly ticks a little quicker if old Rupert's not.
It's
living.
talked.
Our ticker's talked. I think it's talked.
In the way of a clock, not a vertical video format. Yes, we probably should check. Really, do you want to go say hello?
Yeah. Better go check and see if everything's okay. And I'll just like kind of come out of the cafe and like wave over. Hey, Agnes, how you holding up? I'm gonna go over. Is everything okay, darling? Like
Just kind of sobbing away. It looks like she's trying to stay composed, but is just weeping heavily.
he'll bounce back. I'm telling you that he's got some fight left in him. He's just it's just a bad cold.
Spattered in his blood, shaking.
I love this optimism that we have going.
He's gonna be riotous right now. I'm telling you. Mrs. Megan, she had just this the other week.
I tell you, she was coughing blood all over the place. I was coming head to toe.
drama queen, that one.
I told her to cheer up and she was fine.
So Bertrand turns on you. Shut up! What did my father give you? What are you doing here? Like, that belongs to me. Like, I know what you vultures are doing, coming around here, trying to get into his inheritance.
Is he getting in his face?
I don't want nothing from your father.
is kind of getting in his
I
face.
think I'd noticed that and run over and start to like.
What's happening, Archie? What's happening?
Yeah, like he's
Willie!
So he does not look like the biggest, most intimidating guy in the world, but he is, quite aggressive, like pointing like directly in your.
I'm gonna try like calm down,
your
like put my
face.
hand on his shoulder and be like, Champ, listen, I don't want nothing from you, Val. He just asked us to do him a favor. That's all.
Wow, what is in that briefcase? You give that to me right now. That is my father's property. That belongs to me. You should not be taking stuff out of his room. Did he consent to that? I'm a lawyer, you know. I can come down here and have you thrown in jail. I'll have you fined right now.
Now, Bertrand. Now, listen, I was changing your nappies when you were a little boy. And you didn't behave like this back then. You were a very good boy. Now, your father has entrusted us with a very important task. You know, we loved him immensely, and we love you. Now, you calm down. We're not trying to rob you or take any of your inheritance. None of us want that. We care about you and your family. We've been together for years.
Make me I'm going to say a hard persuade roll. So, in Call of Cthulhu, when people roll their dice, if you roll half of your total value, that is considered a hard check. And if you ever roll 1/5, that is an extreme check. And so sometimes I will require a slightly more difficult roll. And Bertrand is a pretty difficult guy. And so I'd like a hard roll for
Okay.
you to persuade him.
I needed is that half my
Yeah,
persuade?
so it will be the second number.
So 20, I need 25, I got 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Got lucky.
Okay, and you're just telling him about how you change his nappies and... okay, look.
Yeah, now I realise why it was
nicely. It ended quite nicely. It was
No, I know. I genuinely think you made a good argument. This was always going to be a tough uphill battle.
Yeah.
Okay, like he looks flustered, and it's like, look, Major, I'm sorry. Just like we've had people coming around, trying to get hold of my father's money. He's been spending so much recently. It's all disappearing, but. Like, look, I know there's some kind of gold box floating around that, look, it's worth a lot, and I'm gonna go through his will with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that goes to the right place. That belongs in our family, not to just vultures.
Trust us, kid. We don't want nothing to do with that. We just want to help your father, and then you can have the box after we're done.
Wait, so you got the box?
He didn't mean.
Didn't he give us a box?
He gave you...
Like, didn't they see us leave with the box as well?
he saw you,
Seriously, with
yeah.
the bag.
yeah, so
briefcase.
Oh, a
don't
bag,
know
a briefcase, a
if they
briefcase.
saw you directly. Give me a luck roll if they saw the briefcase. Chances are you're actually holding the briefcase now. They know they're...
50.
Yeah, like, well, I think, like, you have the briefcase on you.
Yeah. We haven't left it in the cafe. Some child is just playing with the sarcophagus.
Oh my God.
Goes swirling around.
Mummy, help!
Look, as you said, it belongs in the family. We're just doing your dad a favor that he asked us to do. After that, it's all yours.
What do you mean? What kind of favor are you doing my father?
He wants us to go buy this old property that he owns and just have a look around the place, make sure everything's up to standard, make sure everything's fine.
Wait, what do you mean my father owns some other property?
Just, you
Look,
know,
I've gone through his affairs.
I think
I didn't know anything about another property.
I think it's maybe something that came to him in a will or something. I don't know. It's just I didn't even know about this myself until just now.
Listen, Bertrand, I remember when you were a little child, and I was bobbing you up and down on my knee, and your father has asked us to take care of something just for you. This is for you and your wife. You know, we just need to straighten out some of his business,
This is my mom.
and we'll, you and your mother.
Bertrand, I think you should take care of Agnes. She's clearly very distressed, and you should focus on that for the moment. Come on now.
It's a very stressful time. I get it, kid. Then
Take her home and go and look after her.
I don't think your father wanted to trouble you with this. That's why he's asking
Yes, he
some
didn't
of his
want to
old
burden you
friends.
with it.
Okay, you guys can give me one last persuade roll. This isn't going to be hard, and I think
0, 0, 0.
okay.
that means 100.
Oh no. I will push that if I can.
You're gonna push it. How are you? So that is a that is a critical failure.
I'll just go like,
Give him a big hug.
bring it in. Like, look, it's gonna be okay.
So I don't actually know if you can push.
Fail. Oh no.
You like take the Sagokas out, you're like waving at him. Like, nah.
I pull out my gun and I shoot him.
I really fucking love him when
I
they
just got like a crit success. I was like, yes,
It was a crit of types. Oh my god! Okay, amazing. Okay, no. I think this still makes sense. Like, and he's just like, okay, look, you're like, I'm gonna take care of my mom. I need to look after Dad as well. But I know about this house, and I'm pretty sure you've got this box. I promise you, I'm going to be looking into this. You've not seen the last of me. And by the end of this all, I'm going to get exactly what I deserve. And he takes his mum away and...
God, he always was a little shit, wasn't he, that flirt? Hey, what are you talking about?
What a bastard! I've always hated him. Poor Agnes.
Yeah, they head back into the hospital. And... so now from where
I think that went well.
So from where you are able to kind of do any number of things. For you to fully go through the entirety of the journal, it will take, sitting and reading for a couple of hours to be able to, even though the handout is only a couple of paragraphs long.
It's still quite large.
It's to get all of that information out of it.
Yeah.
Requires a bit of researching.
I love how Willie put his foot in it twice. He's like
Just dropping every. Let me go through my sheet of notes. Well,
we're going to deal with that gin your father summoned. Stop it.
Family curse.
Oh, jeez.
He's not the brightest.
I love it. I love Willie.
it. It's
I think
good.
he's great.
It's
I think
good.
he's a
I
great
think
guy.
you should just actively put your foot in it.
Yeah, he's just innocent.
He's a good-hearted.
Yeah.
He sees no evil.
Look, I'm not the most book smart guy, but isn't that old university? Maybe you could read a few of those books or
I'm
something.
wondering if we'd want to try and hunt down the ordinary reference volume and this Divermi mystery. Do we want to try and go to a library or something, just have a little... Well, so I feel this has been quite an exhausting day thus far. Maybe a nice wander around a bookshop would do us...
Think they'd have that spooky book?
There's
don't
a
know,
university kind of
Would
nearby,
I know?
right?
I assume I would know a place where we think we can
How
get it.
familiar? Like, you're an author. You've probably even given talks at
University.
the Miskatonic, so you know that the Orn Library is effectively on campus as well. It is only minutes walk away, and also the Miskatonic has its own private library as well.
Cool.
That both are very nearby.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, come on then,
Two
boys. Let's go
libraries.
for a quick jaunt down to the library and see where we can find these...
Absolutely. If we're going to go on this expedition, we need to be prepared.
This is an expedition,
That's what I
truly.
always say. Be prepared. I learned that from Baden Powell, good friend of mine, actually.
Wait, when was Baden Powell?
Probably around this time. I served with him, actually, in Sudan.
Changed his nappies.
Pass them on my knee. Yes.
Little shit, that Baden Powell.
You should slam his ass.
But he did have some good advice. I was like, be prepared. So we should rally around and do as much research into this thing as we can before we go. Because I want to be prepared for every eventuality. If we have to send a spirit back to the spirit world, oh, goodness me, I don't know anything about that. I've never done that before, but I'm sure you could figure it out. Mrs. Miggins?
Well, I don't think we should go down to the farmhouse until we've got everything we think we might need.
Listen, I think we should get everything we need because we kill this thing. A big axe, an elephant gun, perhaps. I
yes,
took
that's-
down some
I hadn't
big
thought of
fellas
that.
on safari when I was
That's
doing
wonderful.
that.
Willie, do you want an elephant gun?
Oh no, not me. I couldn't do that, darling. That's
Get it out, gun major.
I could probably talk to this thing, talk it down. Maybe it's reason. It can see reason.
Willie's going to therapize the gin.
I think we should be open to all matters in dealing with this. Is a very serious thing, and we owe Rupert. I mean, Rupert saved my life at the siege of Khartoum. So, back then, I owe him one, and I'm going to make sure this last gasp task of his is completed to the best of my ability.
The blabbering.
I'm not Humbert Ridlington Smythe. Major.
Last name, Major.
Great. Okay, what is your?
We're gonna
plan?
go down to the library.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Okay. So the Orne Library is right next to you. It's a public library, and people are kind of coming and going. It's now maybe like sort of 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Still lovely, lovely summer's day, like very nice and warm. And yeah, the library's not super duper busy. It's refreshingly cool inside, like sort of more dimly lit in this fairly large kind of old brickwork space. Rows and rows of shelves, like a little faint smell of kind of musky books, and you feel absolutely right at home here, Mrs. Miggins. Like you spend a lot of time in libraries. You head on in. Can you give me a library use roll, because you are probably familiar enough, or there is a counter where there is.
I'll give it a jam,
sort of-
see if I know where we're going. 95. It's just crazy.
95.
Crazy rolls.
You are immediately distracted.
They've got my new book.
They
Oh,
literally have your new book on a
Oh my
stand.
goodness! Is it like a
The petrifying parodies of Professor Frankenstein.
Whoa! Look at this! Oh, this is your work.
Well, I'm going in. I'm sneakily signing a few copies. Got to cheese the fans.
Impressive stuff, Mrs. Miggins. by the
Oh
way.
wow!
So proud of you, darling.
No, look at me. I'm making it big.
Yeah, 2 students come over and are just like, oh man, it's Mrs. Miggins. We're huge fans of yours.
Oh, it's lovely, yeah.
And they are just absolutely gushing over you.
And I'm just like wandering off of them. Oh, yes,
And you have lost Mrs. Miggins as she is off.
I'm the best season
talking-
I feel like Willie'd get swept up in this. We're like, isn't she great? Yeah, she's so talented. Like, he's just walking along.
talking.
Yeah.
Well, you just with.
Yeah. She's like,
He just turns into a fan.
she's really been like working really hard on this book. And
So yeah, you are. I think they are just going to waste a bunch of your time.
That's fine. That's going to make Mrs. Miggins really happy.
But yeah, they like one of them has like a real like dog-eared copy of one of your books. Like
Nice.
they want you to sign that.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just big fans of yours. One
Amazing.
has some of your merch.
I think I'm like
like a t-shirt.
I think I'd be like sucked up in the allure because I'm wearing this sort of dress uniform, as a tribute to Rupert. I'm in full military dress. I think I like want to. I think they would maybe notice me as well. And I'm like, Major Humbert Ridlington Smythe, yes.
This is my friend Major, yes.
Siege of Khartoum, yes. Fought in the South Sudan, yes.
roll me a cool dice roll. I want like a super luck.
3.
Okay, fine.
God.
2.
I was the basis, for one of her books,
Which one?
It was the, you remember
The
the
invisible invasion of imaginary friends.
yes, you know the colonel in the invisible invasion of imaginary friends. It was me, the major. Though.
Suddenly there's a crowd. There's a crowd of like a dozen students. There's
Yes, it's wonderful.
and they are all getting you to sign.
I'm hoping she's going to write some more of my memoirs. I'm trying to convince her. I've got dreams of the stuff. I've been thinking of writing a book myself.
Does Willie have any fans? Can we roll for Willie's fans?
Right, Willie, roll for luck.
Are they like spotting like famous movie
No,
directors?
they don't care about me. I'm just like, what the hell?
64.
Yeah, they're polite, but they're not necessarily
I
fans.
just know someone like, oh, I fixed up your dad's car. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
There's someone who's like, so mechanics.
The mechanics here
Yeah.
too.
Okay,
wow.
come on, Archie, give me a dice roll as well.
I'm trying to be like, do you know I directed movies? Like, I'm trying to get their attention. 39.
Okay, like I think that you're trying to persuade people away, or like, hey, movies. They're way better than books. Boring old
Exactly, yeah.
books in the library, but no one is
It's a
really.
hard sell in a
Yeah.
library.
You
Yeah.
made this really good one with a dinosaur. I liked it a lot.
It's great.
I don't think the talkies are ever going to catch on, Archie. You're wasting your time.
We'll see, Major.
So it is maybe sort of 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock now, and the library is getting close to closing. The
Why did we come here?
librarian has been aggressively shushing you for a while, And
It's lovely helping out another of your book signings.
I know. We do actually have something to be getting on with, so it's very lovely to meet everyone. Thank you for coming out. Thank you so kind.
There's lots of handshaking.
Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, Janet. Yes, you know, Maurice.
Oh, Maurice. Mrs. Miggins, I love your work. It has been an honour.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, they all.
I like
they all
shooing
tick
the
off.
yes. Fuck off now.
Great. So this place
Why
is
the
going
fuck
to
are we
be.
here? What are we doing? What are we looking for? the Vermi mystery. Where is that book? Where would it be? Is there a section on a cult? I feel like I'm a bit frazzled from the whole meet and greeting.
So there is a librarian who has been like trying to keep you guys quiet, but trying to remain professional because also actually is a fan of yours as well.
You're just trying to get actually people out of the way so they can get their book signed.
Yeah. And
Hello, young lady. Sorry about all this. Oh, well, it's always funny when you're with a celebrity, isn't it? Constantly picking you out of the crowd. Listen, I wonder if you could help me. We're looking for a book, a very specific book.
Oh, well, you're in the right place. We've got so many books here.
It's called De Vermis Mysterii, or something of that sort. One of these occult ones, you know?
Oh, well, that kind of occult stuff. You're probably having better off luck going over to the Miskatonics library for that kind of thing. That's what they have a lot of books. I can go through our files and see if we have it here right now.
Well, absolutely. It would be very kind of you, young lady. Thank you.
We're also looking for the ordinary reference volume that was in Orn's library. Is that, have you got one of those?
Yeah, let me just have a look. She goes over to a cabinet and is kind of going through a filing system and is like, oh, the ordinary reference volume. Yeah, it's over in this section. And she gestures down to, 7J. No, I can't find anything on, what did you say? The Vermis Mysteries?
Yeah, let me spell it for you. D-E
Okay, the
space, capital V-E-R-M-I-S,
the Vermis.
capital M-Y-S-T-E-R-I-I.
The Vermis Mysteries. Mysteries?
Yes.
It sounds like Latin or something to me. That's not
That's what I said. It's got a lot of eyes in it.
It's got a lot of. That's what they say.
got a fucking lot of
A lot of
eyes.
fucking eyes. That means it's Latin. Is the saying around these
It's the
parts?
saying, yes, it's the saying.
But yeah, I don't. We've got no mention of that in.
Okay, well, we'll have a look at this ordinary reference volume then and see how we get on. Come on in, boys.
So 7J. Diddly, diddly, diddly.
Yeah. So you head over and you find this like large tome of a book, which seems like it is a collection of sort of images and pieces of information about artifacts, all kinds of just all kinds of different things that could be in museums and stuff that has been collected and catalogued. And there is a whole section going through it, and so this is going to take you a couple of hours again. That by this point is probably getting close to sort of like 8 o'clock or something like that. And you managed to find a picture of this sarcophagus in.
Wow, Archie, hold it up. Is that it?
Oh, not the book. I was holding the book up for you.
For fuck's sake.
I've got the sarcophagus in my back pocket.
Yeah, I imagine we're like comparing it to these drawings or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Trying to like, is that our sarcophagus? I imagine there's a lot of drawings of sarcophaguses in this fucking book.
Does anyone else want to give me a library use roll while this is going on, just while you're kind of hanging out?
Failed.
Not bad.
90. I'm reading a car about a race book or something.
Yeah, you're just
Cars.
reading a magazine
Yeah.
on like cool cars.
Yeah.
Oh, they have one of your old ones here. Look, they have the creepy cuckoo clocks of Count Tuckleworth.
I think that's the best one, personally.
Oh, I love those. I love that. That's the one that really made your name.
Really did make my name, yes. Nothing like the lycanthropic lullabies of Lawrence Lycan, though. That one is a real stunner.
All of these books, these posters around Orn Library for you. But yeah, so you reading through this, it says that like little is known about the sarcophagus. Okay. But scholars believe that it was in possession of the little-known Nofru Ka, a would-be usurper to the Egyptian throne. The box was believed to have been given to Nofrukar by the gods and was said to contain jinn that could be called upon to enact some kind of service. It was owned by the Parkenby Andersons, a British noble family. However, it was stolen in 1871 and has not been seen ever since.
Oh wow, 1871. It's not far off since Marion Allen got it, so it's quite close. Okay.
Also,
Parkenby Andersons.
it does say that the inscriptions on the box are not Egyptian.
Oh.
They are unidentified.
Oh.
These aren't Egyptian.
Curious. You
But-
were wrong, Major.
Wow, that's mean.
You were just wrong.
It's mean to remind him of his failures,
It's
you
been
know.
a
we
while
all-
since I was in
Well,
Egypt. Got to
he's
admit.
very well traveled, Maybe he's seen many different types of languages and scriptures.
Well, looks very similar.
If it's not Egyptian, do you recognize it from any other?
Can I do an occult roll on the...
Might be French.
Maybe French.
You can do an occult roll.
I'm like, oh, those aren't hieroglyphs. It hasn't got the bird doing the walk or whatever, the crocodile.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll happily let you do an occult.
Okay, I'm not very good, but see if I can notice anything. Oh, that was a 0. I rolled a 30. I kind of want to spend 5 luck. My occult is 25.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
I'm going to spend 5 luck.
So, people can spend luck points. You have a total amount of luck, and you can spend points to be able to lower whatever your dice roll was by an equal amount, which can turn a failure into a pass, or a pass into a hard success, or a hard success into an extreme, depending on how much you want to spend.
Yeah, so I rolled a 30, took down to 25, so now I've only got 55 luck left.
Maybe you were researching this for your new book.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I need inspiration. Because
Okay.
I'm all out of terrible titles.
So you think that this looks a little bit like, maybe this came up in your research at some point, but this might be the language of the fabled civilization of Mu. It is a language that has never been translated.
Okay.
And there are only a few examples of it, that they are sort of a civilization that potentially lived near the sea, in the sort of the Arabian area.
Yes, I think it's the language Mu. It's never actually been translated, but it's from somewhere around that region.
You hear that? Fanny can understand cows. She's
Yes.
that smart. She's that smart.
I don't know if they did worship the cows. Well, we haven't translated it, so maybe they did. Your guess is as good as mine, Willie. You're a genius. Okay, well, there's nothing to decrypt any further, but that means it certainly is from that part
Right.
of the world. Okay, well, we need to find this other book. We need to go to the other library. What's the time? We've spent hours in here. We've been dawdling.
Well, I've got the car outside. We could head on over there.
So it's only a sort of like five minute walk through the kind of university grounds to get over there. It is probably getting later, because you spent a lot of time chatting away.
But this is a spooky library, so it opens late.
It does stay open a little bit later, and
Okay, let's rush on over quickly before it closes.
Oh, well, Margaret will be waiting for me, but do you know what? I think I can stay up a bit later.
You got a permission. You got a curfew. You got to back for, Major.
Well, she's used to my little adventures, so she puts up with a lot. Good old Margaret.
so yeah, you can head on over to the Miskatonic library.
Yep.
Which has an overall kind of just darker, more cluttered feeling. Like the Orne Library, much newer building, much nicer, kind of like white stone. This is far darker, sootier, dirtier place. Like smells more damp, as if they're burning some incense or something in here to kind of cover up a bit of that smell.
All the librarians wearing like dark cultist robes. There's like flames outside. It's Halloween night in September.
Yeah, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah,
and,
it gets spooky.
I'll have broke away and grabbed people some coffees and stuff.
Nice.
Oh,
The
nice! Some
library.
takeout coffees to go, and yeah, you can head on in. It is still open. It's open for sort of maybe like another hour or so, and yeah, there is a librarian in here as well. This is kind of a more stern older woman. Who
Hello,
is-
young lady. I wonder if you can help. We're here on an Egyptian research project, and we're looking for a specific kind of book about the occult, of all things. My friend here is a famed local author, and she's thinking of writing a book on the subject.
Can give me a luck roll? Does she know you?
Me, okay. Oh, 33. Big fan.
Oh, Mrs. Meggins. Yeah, I think I've read some of your books.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind.
It's
I've enjoyed them.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to meet an author. It's great to have you around here. What is the book that you're looking for, sir? Major.
He's major.
We're looking for Vermis Mysteries.
Vermis Mysteries. Let
got a
me.
copy?
I need to have a look through our database, and she goes to sort of like a heavy ledger. Going through that, going through some paperwork, some drawers, little cards in those big long drawers.
Nice.
And she's like, "Oh, yeah, we have the Vermis Mysteries. Unfortunately, that's that's in the restricted books section.
Don't worry about that.
These can only be viewed with permission from Dr. Armitage. He's a professor at the university, but he has full authority over this. But you can see kind of like towards the back of this library, there is a section which is just like heavily, like there is like wrought iron railings that go through the middle of the room, and that there is like a locked iron gate. And behind, you can see there are more books, and they look, all of them older, stored a bit more delicately, or some kind of like locked away in subsequent cages even within there.
Where might we find this Armitage fellow?
Dr. Armitage, he's probably still in his office at this hour, or he might have gone home by now. It's getting pretty late. They tend to wrap things up, close things down, and by about like 9 o'clock around here, unless there's any super late lectures going on.
Okay. Friendly fellow, is he?
Oh, he's pretty. Yeah, he's pretty nice. He's a kind of a serious guy, but
Oh, it doesn't happen to be old Professor Armitage. Yes, well, we're probably met on campaign. He's obviously done some expeditions, I'm assuming. Well, God, let me go and speak to him right now. I'm sure I can get this all sorted out. We can be out of your hair in no time.
well, right away. But this is the library. His office isn't in here. He's in the university building itself.
I know that. Yes, of course. Where else would it be? It's not in the back of the library, is it? Okay. Well, thank you very much, young lady.
Thank you. I'm probably about your age.
Everyone's young to the major. I was bouncing on my knee.
Oh God. Okay, well.
Your nappies.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you. Farewell.
See you later.
To the office.
So you can head on over to. Once again, you're not a million miles away. This is all kind of the same. It's like a large
area.
university campus, but nowhere is more than sort of like 5-10 minutes walk away from each other.
Okay.
And do I see like his parking spot? See what he's driving, maybe.
Ooh, I will let you give me a spot hidden kind of roll.
Okay, spot hidden. That is a 6.
A 6. Yeah, 100%. So maybe you detour specifically if you're trying to do this. You walk one way around the buildings rather than the other. And that he has got a 1913 Ford. They definitely made those in my world. And you can see that there is a plaque that says it's
Reserved for
Professor
I'll have a little
Armitage.
quick
Like there is
look around to assess it and stuff, just to get familiar with the car.
It looks pretty nice.
Okay.
Pretty well maintained. It's not brand new.
Okay.
But it like to have a car, you can tell that he must be doing fairly well. But to be a kind of tenured professor at the Miskatonic, which is kind of like a real like premium university. That he's probably earning a good bit of money.
Okay.
And so you'd say like, he's probably someone who's kind of into cars, but it's not like the most fashionable,
that's all
coolest
good.
car at the time. But can I get someone to roll me a luck roll?
Yep, go for Archie.
89.
Okay, so you head up to, you kind of see a sign that is pointing towards like offices, and you manage to make your way up, and you see this figure who is stepping out of a door and like kind of going to lock it, and this is a much older gentleman, like maybe not much older, like sort of maybe 60s.
We're all fucking geriatrics.
Yeah,
It's hard,
I just realized. Oh, actually, wait. Basically, all of you are
60,
pretty old.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got a very like neatly cropped white beard, a like full head of white hair, like a real kind of like serious kind of look. Wearing a tweed jacket, a tie. He's got a briefcase and is holding a coat and an umbrella, and he's kind of locking up the door. And you would infer that this is Professor Armitage.
Well, go on then, Major. Do you not think you knew the fella?
Professor! It's great to catch you before you leave. I wonder if you could just give me a minute. Oh, goodness, it's great to see you again. I remember we met at the ball.
Did you meet this guy?
30.
30. Yeah, okay. You know, what's your total luck?
It's 80.
Oh, fuck, God, you're so lucky.
So luck
Jesus
is
Christ.
insane. I just know everyone.
Okay.
The Boston Scene Archaeological Display. Do you remember the occult show? Yes. Well, I've seen you all over town.
Oh, okay. Sorry, what was your name again?
Major. Call me Major.
Major. Yes. It's good to meet you. You can see he's got like a faint glimmer of
I'm
recollection.
grabbing his hand and shaking him by the shoulder, you know. Really, I'm sort of towering over him a bit, you know.
Yeah. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but there is like an intensity to his eyes. He has got like very, very piercing. He looks friendly enough, but there's something going on there that just kind of puts you a little bit like, I don't know, you just really notice it. He's got this kind of glimmer in there. Major, it's great to see you again. What is it that I can?
I've got a wonderful proposal for you. It's something which you couldn't possibly pass up. Could you maybe spend 10 minutes for a quick chat and a drink and a sit down somewhere? It's so interesting. I honestly couldn't wait.
I need a persuade. He's looking at his watch.
Yeah.
It's
a 99.
Look,
you
I'm so sorry. I can't right now.
Professor, please, we just need just a moment of your time to be able to grab one of the books from the restricted area of the library. All we need is just permission, and then we'll be out of your hair. I'm so sorry for the hassle.
He turned...
Sorry, it's Mrs. Miggins, famed author. You may have read some of my silly novels. Obviously, you're into things a bit more serious, but you know, a fan as well. There's lots of them on campus.
Does he know you?
There's lots of them on campus. 19.
Yeah, you can see into his briefcase. He's got one of your novels. Mrs. Miggins.
Is that a copy? Oh, come here. Let me. I'll be honoured. And I reach out and grab it, and I start signing it and writing a little list and giving him kisses at the bottom of the signature. I'm like, there you go, Professor. Don't worry about it. Then we just need to borrow one book from your library for just a little bit, and that's all. And we'll be out of your hair. Some research we're doing for my next novel, which I'm sure I'll send right your way as well.
Listen, we can make it extra worth your while. I saw you got that nice 1913 Ford there. Well, I'm a mechanic, Mr. Miggins, sir. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. He seems really kind of...
Yeah, we're just like bombarding him.
I make movies!
Okay.
If you help my darling wife here, read this book, then I'll
really? That's very kind offer.
A little bit of maintenance you need to get done on that thing.
I wouldn't drive it without that. You know what? While Willie fixes it up, why don't we go get the book?
So you did roll a 99 on your persuade roll?
I did. You did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, when you had mentioned that you want a book from the restricted section, his mood, you can see him really tense, and is just suddenly like, look, like I would love to be able to help you. You all seem great people. I loved your movies. They're great too. Apparently, I've met all of you multiple times.
Everyone is a fan.
Every important part of my life, I've been around you guys. And yeah, look, it's great, but the restricted section is very much off limits.
Well, I understand. That's why it's called restricted. However, for this moment, it needs to be unrestricted to us for a small moment while we grab one book. Professor, come on now. Can I persuade?
I will need.
Make it hard, or are you doing?
I think I'll need at least a hard.
Could I help on this somehow?
Maybe.
Assist?
I think all of you guys combined will put it to a hard. Otherwise, it would be an extreme.
Sure. Okay.
Because this guy is.
He's not into it.
He's
not buying what we're selling.
You can really tell he is not into this at all.
Oh, 27, and I need 25 for it, so I'm going to spend another 2 luck. I'm just burning luck.
Look, I can let you have a... Do you know exactly what you're looking for in that book?
We know exactly what we're looking for.
Look, I cannot let you take this book away at all, but look, I can show you the book, but this is really not...
Well, Professor, we thank you so much. It's very, very kind and generous of you with your time. Let's get going. I don't want to hold you up anymore.
Okay, yeah, he's like checking his watch and just looking a little bit exasperated.
Is there like a Mrs. Professor at home, just like, sad bolognese on the table?
Oh, the sad bolognese slowly congealing.
No.
The candles burning down. Oh, the romantic night.
Now, while we're walking over there, can I ask him, have you ever been to Egypt, Professor?
Yeah, I have been. I'm assuming this guy's been to Egypt. Yeah, I have been. Many years ago. I've traveled around, doing all kinds of field investigation.
You had this look of a familiar character, as a kindred spirit, I would say. Have you ever possibly heard of the civilization of Mu?
Civilization of... Why do you... I'm gonna make him see if he's got... see if he passes his occult roll. Ooh, it's a 12.
Ooh.
Not a lot is known about them. Some kind of sea peoples. Their race has never been translated. There's only a few scant bits of information. It's kind of surfaced around about the race of Mu. I don't
fascinating.
know. I don't know how much more I can tell you. It's mainly just artifacts kind of appear from time to time with this exact same sort of iconography they use in their language, which seems not dissimilar, or maybe it's even inspired the Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Artifact, you say? I'm mounting an expedition, and what kind of things would I look out for? I mean, what's been found?
It's just pieces of stone. It looks like it could have belonged to buildings or things like that.
Fascinating, Professor.
Pots and all kinds of just different, artifacts.
So interesting. Have you heard of Nofruka? Nofruka?
Nofruka. I'm familiar with a lot of things, but I don't know every name of every. I'm guessing a pharaoh.
Oh yes, well done, Professor.
Oh, he's so good, isn't he? I'm really trying to butter him up.
Yeah, like you kind of question him, and you don't really. Even though he talks about he seems familiar with these subjects. He does not give you any information that you have not kind of gleaned already about it. And yeah, you make it into the Miskatonic library, and the librarian's there, and it's like, "Hey, Professor."
She's the lady from Professor Zink.
He's like, "Oh, hey, older librarian."
That is brutal. That is a fucked up relationship that they have. That is
like,
not
"Hey."
right.
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, she calls him a professor."
I know, but older librarian is like...
Well, you already met the younger librarian. There's two of them. That's how
She's
they tell
truly
them.
an NPC.
That's how they tell them apart. I've got a name for her.
Doesn't matter, Tom. She's now my favourite character, and we're going to spend 5 hours with her while you try and develop lore.
She's
on
come to the
fly.
farmhouse with
The
us.
older librarian. She sounds sounds really important.
Okay, great. She will.
She's going to make a reappearance at some point.
Right. Or the librarian. Yeah, I'll just make sure that she turns up again. Hey, hey, Professor. Hey, Mrs. Meggins. And yeah, you go through, and Professor Armitage has a heavy set of keys that he takes out, and he undoes kind of 2 or 3 locks on this door, and takes you in, and after a few minutes manages to find this like big, heavy book. It looks really, really old. You know, you would guess a good couple of 100 years old. This big like black leather bound book, and it is entirely in Latin.
Well, let me have a little peruse through, and I'm just going to flick a couple pages and see if the old Latin can hold up this time.
If you want to give me
Give it a crack.
Latin roll.
It's fine, I'm just going to burn all the rest of my luck, I imagine.
Wow.
78. Can I push it? Like, pushing library rolls is weird.
Oh, no, you 100% you can.
Do you have a threat for me? Because I don't really have a good one.
I think if you do this,
Yep.
You might potentially like damage the book, and you're going to get kicked out.
So
You're going to get kicked out of here.
Before you do anything, Professor, you don't happen to speak Latin, do you?
Why, I do actually.
Excellent.
Look, this is he's once again tapping his watch like, look, I should not even be doing this. This seems like a bad idea. I can't translate this
I'm
entire.
going to start flicking the pages faster. Like, oh, where's some Latin I understand? What am I looking for?
Great, give me another Latin roll.
Please. I only have 40, so I'm not even that good. Does no one else have any Latin?
How much luck do you have?
40's still pretty
I'm
good.
just going to drain. I'm
40's
going to roll a
pretty good.
90 and drain my 50 remaining luck. Oh, 41. I'm using 1 luck to tip it over.
Right, so this is a gigantic book that normally, like, I'm talking, this is 2 inches thick, a tome. You don't know what you're looking for.
No.
You can roll me a. I'm going to roll a d4. Right, you lose 2 points of sanity as you go through this book, and from what you can understand, that there is talk of summoning and binding entities.
Okay.
It talks of like necromancy or of bringing things from a different place and how to control them, and also the powers that could give you is kind of what you glean in this sort of 15 minutes of frantic looking. You don't know like a specific area that you were kind of directly aiming for, but you do really get the idea that this is definitely tied to what you
And is pretty useful. Like, if we were to spend more time with it, would it unravel? Like, I guess what I want to know, the core of what I want to know is, am I going to have to steal this fucking book, Tom? Or do I think there's more?
Telling you,
Do I think there's more in there that I need? Like, is there going to be an incantation about summoning the djinn or something? You know, is there going to be some kind of?
You feel like you have seen references to the summoning or controlling of all kinds of different things,
Okay,
but
so
it is talking about stuff that genuinely unsettles you to read.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
Could I try and distract him now while Miss Meggins is doing that, whether you guys want to try steal this book or read more? Like, can I be like, oh, so anyway, that car you got outside, look, listen, take down this address. This is my garage. Bring it in, free of charge. I'll fix it up. You got a couple of lug nuts that need screwed on and a couple of things that need tied into here or there. I'll give it a fresh lick of paint, just kind of keep him distracted.
I whisper to you guys, if we can't get the book out of here, I could film you flicking through the book, and then we'll have a copy on it.
Yes, that's fucking genius, Archie. Quickly, And it's like Willie is over there.
stopped
I'm just
winding
like,
the
go, 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 go,
Oh
go,
my
go,
god,
go, go.
I've worked on countless numbers in those films. It's such a good young car.
Okay, right. I'm gonna want a.
I feel like this is also like deeply like wrong in the occult to be
I-
filming like
I-
occult
no, I
pages is
love
so
this
fucked.
because I feel like you have now created like
second book.
a mythos artifact, like the tape from The Ring or something like that. Like, this seems like such a bad idea. Like,
It's fine, I'm
I,
just gonna lick the tape.
I am absolutely there for it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm gonna want some dice rolls on this. I'm going to need some kind of
Persuade for me to keep him talking.
like a persuade roll, and
That's a 29.
Nice. Was that good? What were you looking for?
Persuade, I have. I'm going to spend. I have 50, 25, 10. So I'm going to spend, 4.
4 luck, so
To
you
get
can
it.
make it a hard success.
Yeah.
Okay, great. On a hard success, this will make it significantly easier. I would have had to make you do like a stealth roll or something, but instead, I will. If you can give me just a camera use roll to see,
Film.
yeah,
Film roll.
if you can give me that just to see what is the quality of.
Get all the settings right. Make sure you can see every
Just
page.
fucking you don't turn the camera on.
It's 53 and I've got 50, so I'm gonna spend 3 luck to knock it down to 50.
Great.
Nice.
Okay, so this takes a good few minutes,
Yeah.
and
I'm like trying to show the pages that I think are maybe more relevant than others, and I'm like skipping the ones that are causing me distress. I'm like, oh no, we don't need to film that.
okay, you go through, and it's kind of almost like just you get this like double set of pages per every couple of frames of the film, and so you will be able to go back through, and you'll have now created this film
What do you mean, Tom?
of this fairly cursed tome.
This is perfect. We've done. This is such a good idea, Archie.
Yes.
We should reproduce this film and share it around. People should- I really think people should get into the occult. You should just see these things.
I think I'm going to actually want, as you're filming this, can you give me a sanity roll? Archie.
20.
20. Okay, cool. You can just lose a D4 of sanity as well. 3. As you are filming this, and through the viewfinder, like every now and again, like these images, like are moving, or like you flick on one page, like it almost is like a spectral face is just like forcing its way out of the book.
Archie, stop shaking. Hold the camera steady.
And yeah, you successfully have filmed this, and maybe 15-20 minutes, just old Mr. Miggins.
We've got an apprentice there, and he's in one of your classes, actually. Young Jackie. He's very good with the car. Listen, it's going to look great when it's done. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah,
when I
like
start to
he's
see them.
just been talking to you about like his
Yeah.
engines making a
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
noise.
Oh
and
yeah,
he
that's
doesn't
common in
have
the V1. That happens all the time. Like I know how to fix that. I can tighten a few screws. You know.
and
I'm if he ever like looks around, I'm gonna big arm around the shoulder. Professor, tell
I thought we were
me
gonna-
about gins.
I thought we were going to cut to you just like making out with the old the old librarian. Just as all of these scenes are going on.
Oh, young lady.
Oh, Major. No, sorry. You're with the
Dirty major. What a horny old major.
Marlene.
no. So you want to be talking to him about gin. So I think maybe you would have had this conversation with him when you were coming over,
Yeah.
when you were questioning him about just Nafrakar and the civilization of Mu, and maybe brought up gin, and kind of all he would have said is that gin is often kind of like just a colloquial term for like an entity, it could be a ghost, it could be a spooky thing. It is something that grants power to people that ask of it. It's a bit like saying something is a bug. A lot of things could fall into
an
that,
arthropod.
that category. Yeah, or an arthropod. Nice. Boom, stare down the camera.
Get it straight down the lens.
And he's suddenly just like the clock strikes and it's now like 10 o'clock at night. And he's just like, oh, God, look, guys, this is way beyond protocol. We are not supposed to be...
I pick the camera up. Yes, we've taken up too much of your time, Armitage. Thank you. And just start leaving.
I feel like he turns back just as like you guys have literally just finished.
The book stops screaming as we close.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I really gotta get home. My bolognese is gonna be so congealed by now. What a nightmare. Man, Mrs. Armitage is gonna be heartbroken again. Look,
Again, this is a regular occurrence.
look, just people come in, local celebrities coming and asking me to show them things, and I really shouldn't. Look, I gotta be getting out.
Thank
of
you very
here.
much, Professor. We don't want to take up any more of your time. I wonder if you may be free for breakfast tomorrow. We could have a nice, bacon and eggs together on the veranda.
Oh, lovely bacon and eggs. Look, I've got some work to catch up on. I'll be in my office from 9 a.m. If you need anything else, you can find me there, and then I'll be in lectures in the afternoon.
Okay, well, I've got to go. We're doing a little expedition. It'd be lovely to have you along if you perhaps were free. We know that a man of your expertise and worldliness could be a real asset to our little team.
Right.
Very exciting stuff.
I feel like you've already picked up one bonus NPC. I don't think you need me joining.
The librarian is coming along.
Marlene, let's go.
Look, I've got he is deliberately locking up, and he's making sure that this thing is locked. And can you give me a spot hidden? Just anyone who's super paying attention. Roll
to that.
18.
92. What?
92. 18. He as he does it, it almost looks like he makes some weird little hand gesture, at the gate, and then just turns. It just seems weird. He does something weird with his hand.
What, give it the finger? What?
He gives the gate the finger as he's trying to lock it.
So
and then just
weird. Fuck you, gate.
And but no, he does some little hand gesture, and then
Can I take
turns.
note of what he did? Was it just a kind of oh, or something like that?
Yeah. You kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it sticks in your mind. It's weird.
Okay, all right. I'll just lock that one away for later.
Okay, right, guys. Okay. So I gotta get out of here. Please let me walk you to your cars. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got here. I don't know where you're going. I'm going home.
Goodbye, Professor. You've been a
but-
wonderful,
Goodbye, Professor.
wonderful help.
Look, thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Thank you for signing the book. I'm gonna. It's
Like I said, bring that car in next week. I'll get it purring like new.
Yeah, I will do. Thank you again. You're all amazing.
And have a think about that expedition. I'll give her a slap on the back. First.
Yeah, thank you.
We just slap someone on the ass, yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Great. I made my car. I'm driving away now.
No, come
yeah,
back.
he jumps in his car and just drives off, and is heading off into the distance.
Well, I think you've got some developing of film to do. and I think we
Yes.
should all go get some rest.
Perfect.
Do we all live? We're not
We all live in a house together. And because fuck it. The librarian lives next door. It's a tiny world, Tom.
Me and Fanny, we got the guest rooms now that the kids are away. If you guys want to come over, it might.
Have you been sleeping on a couch? You are
This is-
homeless.
I'm a homeless traveller.
Just sleeping out of your car. I think you might own a car.
I got the car, Major Archie. There's room for you if you want to
Yeah.
spend the night at
But
our
I think
place.
I've got some chemicals and stuff to develop my film. So if I in my car,
in the car.
and I just stop and do developing wherever I can. So I think
Great,
if I can
okay.
stay at yours, that'd be
Yeah,
good.
of course. What do you by stay? You mean park at the front of our house?
Yes, please. I'd like to
Yes.
park outside and have a little kip
Check.
outside, please.
Okay, well, you can head over to the house and develop your film, make some plans, read through the journal, and make up an idea for whatever comes next. I think as you are kind of you load the camera equipment into the back of the car and you guys head off. It's only 10 minutes away.
Yeah, the
15
Miggins, humble Miggins estate. It's tiny as a house.
Yep.
Yeah, there is the tiniest little wisp of something that comes out of your camera as you shut the door, and there's a little noise of a whine, and we'll head on over to your house. And that concludes this week's episode of Mystery Quest. I hope you're all enjoying us being back in the world of Call of Cthulhu and investigating some mysteries. If you are, maybe you'd like to consider becoming a member, where you can help support us and fund these brightly colored lights that we have behind us. Amazing. Until next time, everybody, goodbye.